Hello and welcome to this video where we're gonna go through some climb numbers for the Dash 8 400. As I mentioned in my previous video, I would like to do some real-world comparisons. So a while ago, while at work, I took down some numbers from our EFB while we were climbing out. I did this for 12 flights covering 3 days. And as you will see in the tables, we have a very varying takeoff weight and altitudes to climb. And we're starting off on the first one. It's a very short climb, just to flight level 150. Takeoff weight is about 23 tons. That took 5 minutes approximately. Our EFB does not record seconds, so there will be some small discrepancies here. And finally, I've included how many seconds it takes per 1,000 feet. So we'll just go through and have a look. In the background, you can see my comparison flights in X-Plane, but we'll cover that in the end. And for the next flight, it's a little bit longer, a little bit higher. And we see the takeoff weight has just increased by about 100 kilos. We're spending 9 minutes in the climb with a total climb altitude of about 23,000 feet. That's, of course, an approximate number. We're taking off from airports varying in about 200 to 300 feet above mean sea level. And the pressure differences, of course, between standard. I don't think the pressure difference was very high these days, but they're within reason, so that doesn't really skew the numbers largely. And yeah, we can see our 23 seconds per 1,000 feet. Next up, it's 24,000 feet. We're putting on 600-ish kilos now, and we're spending 28 seconds over 11 minutes. Next one, 16,000 feet, 24 tons, 7 minutes total, and 26 seconds per 1,000. The next flight, number 5, we climbed to 21,000 feet. With a takeoff weight of almost 24.5. That took 9 minutes, spread over 26 per 1,000. Number 6, also about the same weight, took 10 minutes to 22,000 feet. That gives us 27 seconds per 1,000. And we're increasing almost 1.5 tons for number 7. Approximately 26 tons to 22,000 feet, took 11 minutes or 30 seconds per 1,000 feet. And another one, approximately 26 tons, number 8 here. 11 minutes, 23,000 feet climbed to average of 29 seconds per 1,000. And we're increasing just over 1 ton for number 9, 27.142. Took 14 minutes to 25,000 feet, and that's 34 seconds per 1,000. Number 10, 27.5-ish thousand tons to 20,000 feet, took 9 minutes, and averaging 27 seconds per 1,000. And the heaviest we're going to include is at 28.5 tons to 23,000 feet. Took 14 minutes and averaging 37 seconds per 1,000. I had one more, but this was a flight where at the departure we were held lower for I think about half a minute. It's difficult to include it because a little bit of step climbing in the beginning during the departure from this airport made the total climb time up to 25,000 feet, almost 29 tons. It was 19 minutes. So due to that discrepancy, I'm not including it. So we're going to look at a total table here for all the real-world flights. That's just covering the numbers that we looked at in detail. And the more interesting thing, how did the FlyJSim do? So here we're seeing the simulator flights. We saw in the real-world flights, we included all 12, but here I have 11, so that's where the comparisons will be. A little bit of a disclaimer here. The takeoff weights, I've just copied over what we had in the real aircraft. But in the sim, it's hard to get it totally accurate. I've been within approximately 100 kilos. So I've not fiddled more with that because in the real aircraft, you don't really know if the number you have in the EFB is totally accurate because passenger weights are averages, for example. You have male, female, child, and infant numbers. You don't have the totally accurate numbers for each passenger. So it's a bit of a moot point doing within 100, 200 kilos. It might be 500 off for all we know. This is included in the takeoff calculations or risk assessments for making takeoff calculation computers. So the aircrafts are totally capable of handling this, and the Dash 8 having so much power it's never a problem climbing out. So for the simulator flight, we can see I have climb times in seconds, and that's just because I can do that when reviewing the videos. So let's move on to where we're actually seeing the comparisons. So I've done the climb times in 2 columns here, and the difference we have between the real world and simulator. And for me here, the first 6 or 7 flights are, because I'm not recording seconds in the real world, it's hard to justify comparing something that's within approximately half a minute. That's close enough to the real deal that in the simulator I don't really react to this taking shorter or longer time. And as we can also see when we're comparing the seconds per 1,000 feet, the differences are within 2 seconds. Of course, you're going to climb faster in the beginning and you're going to climb slower towards top of climb. But as you can see in flight 8 to 11, something is happening with the numbers. And this is where I've complained about the way the FlyJSim Q400 is modeled. When you're approaching the maximum takeoff weight, the final climb time is much higher, and the final few thousand feet are much, much, much slower. You're getting down to a couple of 100 feet per minute towards the end. And I think that is what we're seeing. I could, of course, try to record the entire climb and compare per 1,000 feet. But to realistically do that with any sort of accuracy, I would have to film in the cockpit, and that would require permission from the company. Something, well, I might try to do that at some point, but I don't think it's really necessary because having things that accurate doesn't really give us anything better in the sim. If we are within what we call a sanity number or a reasonable number, that's at least fine for me. A reasonable number with a feeling of how the real aircraft feels, that's my goal for all aircraft they're including in the sims. So having plus 4, 5, 6 seconds per 1,000 feet, that only gives us part of the number. Had I compared the start of the departure, I'm sure that the numbers would be pretty close within reason. But it is when we're getting high up that we're seeing the big differences. And it gives us a very high discrepancy in the difference in total climb times. It's about 2 to 2.5 minutes more when we're talking 26 tons and up. So exactly what's doing this, I'm not sure. The good thing is I've also tried to highlight this at FlyJSim's Discord server. And we recently got a comment from Jack, the systems and visuals guy there, that this is something he knows he has to fix. So for me, I don't think I will follow up on this much more until we see an update from FlyJSim. And at that point, it would be interesting. Well, I could do these 11 flights again, since I already have the numbers. I'll try to record a few more flights, and maybe even with more detail when I'm at work later on, just so we have some comparison. And the good thing now also is we have a more accurate historic model in X-Plane. And of course, this is the other thing that's going to create discrepancies. I can't, within any reason, record the actual flight conditions, different pressures during the climb, different temperatures, wind directions, etc. We're just going to have to go on a gross error check, have things within reason, have a reasonable feeling for the climb and the flights. And it's never going to be 100%. Let's just face that. That's not within a reason at this point in time. But let's get it close. Let's get it to where it's climbing with a more accurate number for the few thousand feet before top of climb, when you're heavy and you're climbing high. That would certainly be a very, very good start. And the other thing is, we have some bug fixes that I would like to cover as well, and I'm gonna include in a FlyJSim post later on. But it's also how the prop power pitch feels when you're coming into land. At the moment, this feels sluggish. There's something wrong with maybe the way the pitch works, or yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess it might be a good combination of different parameters. But since Jack already seems to be aware of this, I am totally sure that he has some good ideas on how to make it feel a little bit better. And well, a better feeling would make this aircraft, this add-on, so much more fun to fly. And I'm sure if we can get to that point, we're going to have a Dash 8 Q400 in X-Plane that's going to be, it is already one of the better add-ons. And I see a lot of people say it's one of the best add-ons. I don't agree with that statement just yet, but that's just because I know how different the real aircraft feels. And there are many, many very good things about this aircraft. The systems, the FMS, they're very, very good. Let's just fix this, the climb, the power to pitch on approach, and a few bugs. That's really bugging me, at least. And we're gonna have, for certain, one of the best add-ons and the best turboprop airliner in X-Plane. And then it's just wait and see. What will Majestic bring out for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Will it compare or beat the FlyJSim? Having competition is always good. So I'm certain we have a great deal of good things to look forward to in both these simulators. And for us turboprop fans, it's just gonna get better. So thank you for tuning in and following this. The next video will be a normal flight video. I was supposed to post one, but the recording, well, it lost all the audio. So I'm just gonna have to remake that one. And it's been busy at work lately as well. So that's it for me today. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. Make suggestions for what you would like to see, both on Dash 8 videos and other airline routes or charter business jet. Always looking forward to your guys' comments. So that's it for today. Have a nice day wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you on the next video.